Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Hello, how are we doing? Sorry for the short delay starting here. I'm still trying this new simultaneous casting situation, so we should be live in multiple places right now. For the very first time on the Thursday show, we should be live on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. So if anyone's on any of those platforms, make sure you go and find me. I should be live at least one of them. Hopefully, you would found me here today. This is our last stream before the reveals start happening. So I know you're probably bored of me speculating away, but today's just a freestyle show. We're going to talk to the chat. We're going to speculate about New York Comic Con, as there are absolutely going to be reveals coming up. So let's go down that rabbit hole. You know I like to do it. Maybe I'll shut up about Mephisto and we'll talk about something else for a change. I'm very self-aware, you see, but I cannot do it alone. So Richie's had enough of me talking about Mephisto. He's like, Dan, I need a break from you. You're boring me. But a good friend of mine will always talk toys with me. It is, of course, Jay. Jay, how you doing?
Hello, I'm okay. Yes, Rich is away on Kitty Pryde sensitivity training as per his Instagram story. So you have the super substitute for once, not on the road, because the last few times I've been with you, we've been in the middle of nowhere, but we are now back in the comfort of our own homes.
We are both at home with our toys, our happy places, if you will. But we will be back on the road again later this month, as we got New York Comic Con this weekend, and then the weekend after that, we've got MCM in London, which we will both be in attendance. And Jay, my mission is, right, before you get to MCM Comic Con, we need to get you to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I know the long slog. I've been there, my friend. So I know it ticks away. We got to chip away at it. So today, in the chat right now, pinned to the top is Jay's YouTube channel, Jay's Toy Collection UK. Of course, you should be familiar already, but if you're not, please go and give him a subscribe. He is 30 away from 2,000, and there are 76 people watching now. There has to be someone out there that's not subscribed to Jay. I'm hoping, Jay, that since obviously you're a regular around these ways, people already are anyway, so don't get too mad if you don't suddenly get to 2,000, because we can safely assume we're amongst friends here. People are already subscribed. But if you are not, for whatever reason, some people watch channels all day and just forget to subscribe. That actually happens. Go and hit that subscribe button in the chat right now, and we can
much appreciated. I am so close there to that magical 2,000 in year 2 here of YouTube. And hello to many new viewers on Instagram. So if you're not subscribed from Instagram, come on over.
Yeah, that's true. We are live on Instagram right now. I should really check the chat on Instagram, but people are definitely joining on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, come over to YouTube, all right? That's all. This is what Instagram is about. We're just spreading awareness of the live show. I know a lot of people probably would like to use their phone while they're watching a live stream, so Instagram lives ain't always that great for engagement. So instead, it's about spreading awareness. We are now live on YouTube. Come on over, wherever you are, come and talk some toys with us and get involved in the chat. So before we go and talk to the chat, let's just go through the housekeeping real quick. Go and check out all the other long form content on the channel. No Legends of Liquor this weekend, but next weekend we will be having the Legends of Liquor, which will perfectly coincide with New York Comic Con. So next weekend we should have plenty to talk about. So the next weekend, the 20th, will be Legends of Liquor, and then I promise you I will get a Turtles and Tea and Joe's and Juice in before the year is out. I promise Tanner, Tom and Mark, it's going to happen. If you want to support the channel, then you can do so. Anything over £4 or $4 via the Streamlab donation link that is at the top of every video description, or just via the old school YouTube super chat, which is the $ in the YouTube chat. You hit that, anything over £4 or $4, your chat or will be read out loud. Whatever you want to say, support the channel, get involved, forever for let it go down in the YouTube history books. We appreciate you. Always good to hear Friday's voice on a Thursday. Again, take it one step further, hit that join button, and if you do so tonight, if you are part of the Who Crew Deluxe tier, I don't know what's showing X-Men then, you can join the after show tonight. So you're in the after show where you can speculate away about New York Comic Con. I think, Jay, that some of the regular sort of guests of the Dan Who Network are actually going to be attending New York Comic Con. So it'll be interesting to get some of their thoughts today as well. But we already have a subscriber from the chat. We've got Captain Rick Jones. Says he's subscribed, Jay. He's got involved.
He has. I can give you a live analytic check. I've just checked, and we've gone up 7. Yes. So thank you very much.
It's working.
23 away. It was
perfect. Right. Let me get the YouTube chat up so we can say hello to some people that are watching live right now. We appreciate you. And of course, then we will start speculating away about Marvel Legends and maybe a few other bits as well, all right? But you know it's about Marvel Legends here. So right at the top, I have pinned that to the top. Go and click it, literally 2 clicks, and you could be subscribed to Jay. Nice and easy. Please go and do so. I will post his link in the chat some more so as well anyway. Let's copy that. A link address. Let's put that in there. There you go. You got no excuse now. I'm posting it everywhere, right? Let's get that man to 2K. That is our mission this evening. Right, I'm scrolling up, Jay. I'm saying hello to some people. In nice and early, Marvin Martinez says, more Werewolf by Night figures, please. Now, I would agree with Martin. As you will see in the thumbnail of my video, I have put Werewolf by Night as on the back of that thing box, the Man Thing box, it did say more to come or alluded to more. We are in the Halloween season. Maybe this coming weekend we will see something. We shall discuss shortly. Mark Tattak's also in the building. David Mitchell says, happy Friday Eve. I'm hoping for Agatha All Along Legend reveals. Jay, I have not watched a single episode of Agatha yet. That's not saying I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait until it's over and then probably catch up. What about you? Have you been watching?
You are missing out. I have not watched this week's episode, and I've only just started last week's, but I've watched the first 3. And I'm pleased to say I am very much enjoying it. After quite a lull in Disney Plus MCU shows, at least in my humble opinion, they've not been terribly good recently. This one, to me, is stepping it up. It's no spoilers, but I'm not enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the occasional musical element. I think that actually adds to the show. Unlike, I think, a certain Joker film where the music isn't adding, according to a lot of the reviews I'm seeing out there. Haven't watched that one yet. I know you've seen that
Joker,
one.
Yeah, I've seen Joker. I understand what they were trying to do. It's just, it didn't hit, unfortunately. I get what they were trying to do, but it just didn't quite hit for me and Amanda. Amanda was not happy either. But let's continue. I will get around to Agatha Harkness. Of course I will. I need to watch Echo first, but I'll catch up. I wouldn't worry about that. You can just watch episode 1 and move on. Okay, cool. Jamie's in the chat. Damien Restore says, good afternoon, evening. The Wrecking Crew, perhaps. Yes, the Wrecking Crew would actually be great. We need some updates for them. Kurt K says, evening all, greetings from the treadmill. Don't work too hard, Kurt K, but it is good to see you back on your feet. I would love to money in the bank. Live stream from a treadmill I've yet to tick that
Justin
off.
Collects donated $4.99.
Let me scroll down.
Inconsistent shows and now no Rich. This show has really gone downhill.
There's basically this guy on YouTube called Justin, who's basically just copying the Dan Who blueprint. He's even stealing some of the regular guests on my show. So he's basically using every opportunity he can to just start poking the bear. I've told him he does not want this smoke, but he just keeps giving me money, Jay. He's falling into my trap. So thank you very much for your $4.99, Justin Collects. He says, inconsistent shows, and now no Rich. This has really gone downhill. So basically, that's him starting beef with you, Jay, because he's saying that you're not good enough, and the fact that you're here, the show's going downhill. So
I think that's an absolute insult there. I think the man who will not be named, I think both of us on screen may have given him advice on how to do some certain elements of streaming, and now he's turned heel, a complete heel turn on us here. Is the thing. My very consistent live streams, I'm live every week. I'll have definitely.
I told him when he gets to the 200, then he can start speaking, all right? He's 4 weeks in, so yeah, he knows his place. But I will give his super chat a like, and I will gladly take his money. Definitely don't watch Justin Collect's YouTube live stream every Saturday night. Definitely don't do it.
Definitely not. I'll try not to delete his super chat this week.
Thank you. Thank you. Who else we got in the chat? So Kurt K, Cloud, Michael, Robert Thompson. Hello, Robert. John is there as well. Little Leaf Creations. He's retracted his message though. So is Hobby. So I don't know what they have said, but they have clearly regretted it and retracted it straight away. So I don't know what Pete said, but he's retracted it. And shout out Hobby, who also retracted his message. Clearly coming in hot this evening. He says evening though. Lady Max also in the building. She says hi all. Pow. Greg Finstad, the mysterious man. He says Tac Tac has Joe's on the brain. Tac Tac's always got Joe's on the brain. Craig's Dot, nostalgic dot collection. Now that's got a ring to it. He should put that on a t-shirt. He is also in the chat. He says even though Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. Bruce Brian Rocky is in the chat as well. Now he's going to test me with my flag knowledge, but is that the Puerto Rican flag? I could be completely wrong, but that's just my guess. So let me know if I'm right or wrong. Dale says, haven't caught one of these live in a few weeks. Shout out Dale. Mikey Moonboots, of course, is there as well. With the saxophones, I appreciate. Scroll down a little bit more. Let's see who's here with us live. Blatchula says, howdy, howdy. That's our friend Lorenz. Daniel Hayden as well. I'm sure he's watching from the famous Dan Hayden angle on the bed. No Chewing says, hey, what's up all? I'm not chewing either, my friend. We have that in common. I'm doing good. Encountered Cool Chat is laughing. He's probably laughing at Justin's terrible live streams. I don't blame him. Who else we got? We got Robert, as I said. Make mine Marvel Legends. I love me some Dan Who. Well, I love me some Marvel Legends. I think we can get on. We can absolutely get on. Welcome, Make mine Marvel Legends. Matt Bridge, it says, happy almost weekend, guys. Great to be back on a live. It's great to have you back, Matt, for the live stream. Your boy's got toys. Says, howdy, folks. Can't stay for the show. Got a ton of reading to do, but wanted to stop by and show some love and hit that like button. See? That Alexi knows what's up. Shout out, Alexi. Your boy's got toys as always. Miss Kitty says, I can't watch him in a Saturday. Good. You're not missing nothing. Don't worry about it, Miss Kitty. Matt says, anyone going to London Comic Con? Yes, we are going to London Comic Con, and I have some details. So before we get into New York Comic Con, just go with me for a second here as I give you some exclusive details about London Comic Con, which I'm now allowed to tell you. So MCM London Comic Con happens from the 25th to the 27th of October, so in 2 weeks time. So we've basically got a Comic Con next weekend and then a Comic Con the weekend after. New York and London, two of the capitals getting hit with Comic Cons. Hasbro are going to have a presence at both of them, and I'm here to confirm bad news, Jay. Bad news. Cool. Hasbro will not have a panel at MCM Comic Con London. Sad time.
Shocking.
Sad time.
Absolutely shocking.
However, there are still going to be reveals. Don't you worry. Instead...
Hello. It's picking up. It's picking up.
Indeed. Instead of your traditional panel, where, let's be honest, it's all well and good, but people are there for the new reveals. We want to know what's new. So instead of the traditional panel, they are now going to do the reveals exclusively at different time slots at the Hasbro Pulse booth with the designers. So I'm going to be there with Dwight Stahl, checking out some new Marvel Legends, revealing them exclusively on the Saturday. So more details to come, but I just wanted to put it out there into the universe that on the Saturday, there will be brand new reveals in London for Star Wars, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series and Vintage Collection, and Transformers and G.I. Joe. Did I say them all? Have we got all the brands there?
So, I believe so.
Yeah, so reveals for all the brands at the Hasbro booth panel, at the booth, sorry, and then the booth will have special places for all these reveals to happen. So still reveals, that is the main thing. More details to come. And of course, I'll be there for the weekend. Jay will be there. Come and hang out, talk some toys. Always a good time. So that is in 2 weeks' time. So we will discuss more about that when the time comes. But I just wanted to put that out there into the universe. Marvel Legends reveals absolutely happening at MCM Comic Con, and I will be there to spread the good word, but I'm sure many of you guys will be there also, so please do get involved. But today I wanted to discuss New York Comic Con, and we will. But before, Jay, I just wanted to give our UK sort of audience, I assume if you watch this show and you're from the UK, you probably buy Marvel Legends. I think, is that safe to say, Jay?
I would assume if you're watching this channel from the UK and you don't buy Marvel Legends, then
What are you doing?
I
Exactly.
think you might be watching the wrong stream.
Where have
Better
you
go
been?
watch old Justin over there instead.
Exactly. If you're in the UK and you collect Marvel Legends, get involved, right? This is an open forum. I always say, support the channel, be on the channel, right? It's up to you. The option is there for you, of course. But I would say I like to keep my UK guys up to date. So I have put this little table together for us because it's going to be an expensive month for Marvel Legends, all right? So this is just a warning, if you will. I'll put some sirens up. This is a warning for anybody with Marvel Legend pre-orders in the UK because they're coming in thick and fast. Let me just recap what pre-orders are actually going to be hitting this month. This is one calendar month for Marvel Legends, all right? So quick recap of what's coming into stock in the October month in the UK. I'm assuming the US will probably be a few weeks early or a few weeks behind. Probably early, let's be honest. Our distribution's a little bit slow. Right, so first things first, we know the Americans have it already.
I'm going to get the calculator out.
Yeah, don't worry. I've done the math for you. Your brain's not going to hurt, but your wallet may cry. So, first up, we have Marvel Legends Punisher and the Bushwhacker 2-pack. That is already out in America. It is coming on the 11th, so tomorrow. You're going to get charged for that tomorrow in the UK. Wherever you have pre-ordered that, it is out tomorrow. So, expect that charge for $55.99 or wherever you have ordered, but around about that price range.
I'm about to get charged at midnight tonight then because I've got that one on. Yes. I've got that one on order.
So I'm just warning you, if you've got that one on order and go on.
They've done fantastically well with getting out their customer emails a few days before to saying you're about to be charged. They seem to have given up with that strategy, which is...
Since Pulse have changed over to that new website, it's not as consistent. Like, they charge at random times. You don't get the shipping emails as soon. So I'm not a fan of the new Hasbro Pulse system. Previously, I felt more comfortable that I could cancel an order at 11:59 and I wouldn't get charged at midnight. But now it's a bit iffy. Sometimes you get charged before, sometimes a little bit after. So Punisher and Bushwhacker 2-pack is first up. Quicksilver is due next week as well on the 15th. So if you've got Quicksilver, if you're like me and you buy 2 of those cards, then you'll expect double. Then the day after that, Kang the Conqueror is finally hitting the UK. Thankfully, I've already got a review up on the channel, but I still need to grab my own. So that is on the 16th. So that's next week. You've got Quicksilver and Kang the Conqueror. And then the week after that, we've got Colossus and Odin hitting. That's not all. So you've got the Deadpool movie Colossus. You've got Odin, Hulkbuster, Man-Thing, and the Strange Tales wave all hitting within a 2-day period. Okay? So that's Colossus, movie Colossus, 80th anniversary, 85th anniversary Odin and Hulkbuster. 2 great figures, by the way. Reviews on the channel. Man-Thing, which we haven't got in the UK yet, but I think the US has. And the US are starting to get the Strange Tales wave now. That they're all hitting in a 2-day period from the 22nd to the 24th. And then on the last day of the month, well, virtually the last day, the 29th, just before Halloween, the Outriders are hitting. Now, how much do you think that is if you're pre-ordering just one of everything?
$4.50. Let's take a guess. I haven't added it up yet.
Okay, well, I unfortunately did do the maths. So if you don't like maths, plug your ears. But that is a combined total of £564.92 just on Marvel Legend pre-orders in the month of October. Ouch. Like, ouch. That's just one of everything. Now, of course, this is a first world problem. I'm very self-aware. You don't have to buy everything. Pick and choose, of course. Priorities, be sensible. But if you are buying one of everything, I'm just letting you know that's £564.92. So if you're the type of person who just pre-orders everything in advance just to sort of guarantee you've got what you want, and then you sort of maybe change your pre-orders closer to the time, then now's the time. Right, it's getting close. But those pre-orders are hitting in the month of October. So I thought I'd give everyone a little warning, as I know some people in the UK don't really know if the dates change. So I double checked those dates. Those dates seem to be locked in. So the month of October is going to be an expensive one. Genuine question for anyone in the chat. Has anyone in the UK pre-ordered everything on that list? Full transparency, of course I did. Can I afford everything on that list right now? No, of course I can't. So thankfully eBay are doing no seller fees right now. So I've got shit on eBay right now trying to get rid of some stuff to try and accumulate, because I do want to get what's on the screen. But it does sting for sure.
Well,
Pack photos.
talking of that,
Go
I'm
on.
thinking of a stranger, the similar thing. I saw the eBay no selling fees and thinking, oh, I've bought far too much recently, so I've got my drill out with me, and to the side of me, I'm building a bit of racking to try and get the sale pile. The spare bed is now going to become an official sale pile storage area. So I've got to photograph it all and try and hopefully make some of this money back because you're just sharing a Marvel Legends list.
Yeah, that's
Of
just Marvel
course,
Legends. Yeah.
that's just Marvel Legends. G.I. Joe Classified, I'm assuming, has
It-
got a few October dates as well.
I deleted the October dates for Classified from this list because today I thought was very Marvel Legend focused. If you were also pre-ordering every single G.I. Joe that comes out in the month of October, you're looking at just under £800 on Joe's and G.I. Joe. So if you're one of those collectors out there that collects Joe's and Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe, you're looking at about £800, which I'm sure we can, as much as we love this hobby, I'm sure we can all safely say as adults, that is insane. So we're very self-aware on this channel. We're not naive. It's a first world problem. I'm just informing you. I'm just letting you get prepared. That's all it is. Because this is stuff that's already been revealed, that we've already got excited about, that we haven't even got in our hands yet. But yes, this is all due out in October. Jamie in the chat says, let's have a look. Let me scroll down a minute. Jamie says, hey, Dan and Jay, share your eBay in the chat, Dan, in case here anyone needs anything. No, you will not enjoy my scalper prices. I will not be doing that. So I appreciate the idea, Jamie. But shh. My eBay is rich underscore displays once. That's what my eBay is. Figure Cave
mine is
Collectibles
Cheeky Monkey Kiara. There you go. You can,
I think it actually is this time, isn't it, to be fair? Adam's in the chat. He says, pow, 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 evening all. Who needs to blood my eat anyway? Who needs to blood my eat anyway? Does you reckon he means who needs to bloody eat anyway?
I think that is
Probably.
what he means. I think the extra M has snuck in there, and Tak is now out of food. He's on the ramen noodles or something
Who
because
needs to blood my
the food
eat
bill's
anyway?
off.
I'm sure he means who needs to eat anyway. Yes, I cancelled some Marvel Legends for myself recently. Yeah, I'm sure the US pre-orders are very close. And again, this isn't me like bitching or moaning or anything. I'm just spreading awareness. That's all it is. Everyone can make their own decisions about their financial purchases in life. We're all adults here. I'm just spreading awareness. That's all. As a friend, one friend to another. That's all it is.
It's not the greatest distribution plan in the world for it all hitting in October. I assumed it wasn't planned this way, but the last couple of years, it seems to. I don't know about internationally, but especially for UK stock, we get nothing for a while, and then we get these massive hits. So I'm happily spending on other lines, thinking, "Oh, that's all right. Nothing's hitting. Oh dear, this list is coming in," and then you're in a bit of a problem.
Again, I don't work for these companies. I don't know how they've planned, but I assume it's because they want product on shelf for Christmas. They want product available for the Christmas season, which is obviously so that last pallet coming over for the third quarter or the fourth quarter is probably the bigger one. So yeah, they try and get everything out. I think after this list, we've got the Secret Wars wave, and we've also got the Spider-Man wave, which is due any time now as well. They're both meant to hit in November. The Deadpool wave as well, which is only 3 figures, granted, but still, when you add it to a list like this, it makes a difference. So there is still plenty of Marvel Legends that we haven't even got in our hands yet, and we're already getting excited about what is yet to be revealed. But let's take a moment to reflect on what we have still got to enjoy. I'd hate being one of those collectors that just gets things and lets it pile up. I do try and take my time and appreciate the stuff coming through and enjoy it before it sits on the shelf. So I hope everyone else has that same mentality. Because it's not a race. Collecting is not a race. It's not a race.
I can't say anything about piling it up. I've literally got. I think I did a recent video. There was 42 McFarlane figures in an unopened
the McFarlane
file.
Tower. It's a very famous video.
There will be a follow-up, the Mountain of Mattel. I haven't quite done yet because the wrestling figures, Mattel have done this exact same thing that Marvel Legends.
You're building your own.
They've done the exact same thing. They released 4 waves in 2 weeks at Smith's for them. So it was a hard September come for wrestling, and now it looks like. For me, I think it'd be G.I. Joe, because I think on this list, it's only Bushwhacker and Punisher I've got pre-ordered, because I was trying to rate on the rest to spread the budget out. So I think that might have to still be the strategy there. for a bit of Marvel Legends spreading. But G.I. Joe, I panic and end up.
It's definitely a game you've got to play. Of course, I always say that people are, especially when you're involved in this community so much, I think people genuinely try and, again, feel, I don't think anyone puts any pressure on anyone else, but sometimes people feel like they need to keep up with someone else there watching or something, which is not the case at all. Collecting, there's no rules, there's no race, everyone goes at their own pace, you don't need to buy everything, just buy what you want for your collection. Things will still be, I think everything is still out there available. Like some things get a little bit harder to find, of course they do, but maybe plan ahead. If you think something's going to get harder to find, maybe prioritize that and then backtrack on the other things that you think may still be available. That's probably, everyone has to play these little games with themselves. So yeah, all I'm saying is people be sensible. That's all. Matt Bridge says the Lego X Mansion. Well, we're not talking about that. We don't want Lego to come after us, but yes, potential there for sure. Potential there for, I think, November, if that is to be true. But we shall see.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I just wanted to do that public service announcement before we started the stream. Lots of Legends incoming. Get your wallets ready. But let's skip ahead, as I said. Let's do that generic collector thing where we're like, okay, but what's next? What else is there? And let's talk about New York Comic Con. So, Jay, I've rambled on for the last couple of weeks about my theories of what I think would be great to be released at New York Comic Con. So I'm not going to get on my soapbox again. I've already stated my case on multiple videos. I know people are probably getting bored of me. People are starting to send little jabs on the internet. That's right, Super Sorrow. Like, I see everything about me going on about Mephisto. But again, I feel like I presented my evidence and it was a fair conclusion that I come to. But I've always said I don't feel super confident. Like, I feel like it would be great, but I don't feel super confident. So let's just ignore Mephisto, okay? So again, I've ran that one into the ground. Let's think out what else could they reveal at New York Comic Con. Now, in the thumbnail of this video, I included Werewolf by Night, and someone mentioned it earlier in the chat. What do you think of the likelihood of any Werewolf by Night characters? I assume there is going to be... You don't do a man thing from the show and just skip over the lead character. Werewolf by Night has to be coming. It is Halloween. Be good timing, right?
Yeah, you got to think there'll be something spooky related, I suppose. They've done the Strange Tales wave that's coming out now, say around the Halloween time. But you think there might be another Halloween reveal? So Werewolf by Night would make sense. The last time we saw him in Marvel Legends was a 4-pack years ago from Toy Biz, if I do remember, with like Frankenstein and Dracula. So that actual 4-pack would be a good idea. I would not mind seeing a complete redo as box set. Maybe an Amazon box set of horror characters.
Well, we've just got Dracula in the Strange Tale ways. Granted, it's in his blood armor, which is a more modern look, but still, maybe it could be. What would you prefer then, Jay? Right? Would you prefer a comic Werewolf by Night or MCU if you could pick?
If I could pick, because the entire MCU collection is now in the sale pile, I would go for the comic book version. I did manage to buy the Lego minifigure of the MCU version, so that's my representation done. So I would go comic, but I do think MCU is more likely that they'd actually do that, as you say, to go with the MCU man thing. But they're not exactly far off each other in design, particularly. So you could go either way on it. Just thinking about box sets there, if we had an Amazon 5-pack this year, was it all just last year?
I'm trying to think.
Because surely we're due one if we haven't. Because we had the Spider-Man with the very random villains, but that was last year, because I remember they were showing Robo at Comic-Con. They had the Wolverine one, well, loosely tied Wolverine one the year before. Have I forgotten this year's, or has it not been shown? Because if it hasn't been shown and we're in October, surely that's going to be shown. It'll be a box set we'll get.
Look, that's if there is one. Like, because I think this year we've had more Amazon exclusives than usual. Usually it's a big box set and then maybe one or two other items. This year we had quite a trickle of Amazon exclusive 2-packs. Destiny and Rogue being one. Doctor Strange is his one as well, right? Doctor Strange and Wong.
Mystique, and we said that there's Mystique packs vanished from Amazon UK. I was waiting for that to come in stock, and now it's completely unavailable. We've cancelled orders again. Destiny,
We
and
wanted Mystique in
because we
it.
all thought
Yeah.
Mystique is in there.
Yeah,
we
we
literally, it's ingrained on the brain. Good old Rectangler has ingrained on our brains, but the Destiny and Rogue 2-pack is now completely vanished on Amazon UK.
Craig in the chat, thank you, Craig. West Coast Avengers is probably the last box set they revealed. When was that revealed then? Does anyone, genuine question for anyone, I don't know. When was the West Coast Avengers box set revealed? I'm assuming it might have been revealed on a Hasbro Pulse live stream rather than at a convention, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember. I thought it was I remember it being on a live stream, but I completely may have made it up. There was somebody in the chat will
Live
know.
streams, I think, says Kenny as well. The one with Pretty Boy and Vertigo. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the Wolverine pack that Jay was alluding to. That was last year as well. So yeah, this year not any packs. I don't, as much as I think it would be great to see a Monsters style pack. We do need some comic representation. I agree with the chat, by the way. I know a lot of people in the chat were saying comic all day for Werewolf by Night. I agree, comic would be popular, but I do think we are probably heading in the MCU direction. There's no way. Well, actually, there is a way, because I was about to say there's no way they do Man-Thing from Werewolf by Night without doing Werewolf by Night. But considering that Man-Thing is just an upgrade of the tooling they already had for the Build-A-Figure. Now, granted, there are some differences to that. Of course there are. But they already had the base. It was probably a quick turnaround for them to just make a few changes with the overlay, sculpt a few new pieces and put Man-Thing out there, where Werewolf by Night would probably require new tooling from the ground up to do it justice. So maybe that's why he came out quicker, and they always planned to do Werewolf by Night. Maybe they're skipping Werewolf by Night and just doing Man-Thing because it was something they could put together. I just think the back of the packaging alluded to more figures, or the Amazon listing or whatever it was. It definitely alluded to more characters from Werewolf by Night, and the two big ones have to be Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone.
Elsa Bloodstone, yeah.
So,
which we've had a comic version of Elsa Bloodstone, didn't we? Because she was in the
great single patch, you know. She was in the Woman's A-Force box set.
The A-Force box set, wasn't she? Yeah,
but she'd do great single patch. She really would. So yeah, especially with the new female bodies as well, because she's a monster hunter. Do you know what I mean? She's like female Van Helsing style, so she needs to hold a gun properly. So she's a worthy female of double jointed elbows for sure.
There's a great call in the chat saying I'd actually would like to see wolf related, but not Werewolf by Night. I think Gingivitis 75 there. It says, how about Man Wolf? So J. Jonah Jameson's son in a classic yellow sort of jumpsuit as Man Wolf, I think would be a great Spider-Man choice, potentially on a retro card. Actually, that would look nice on a Spidey retro card.
Did that happen in the animated show?
It didn't, no.
I don't remember it.
No, I don't think it did happen in the animated show, but I think it would look nice on a retro card anyway, because it was released in the Spider-Man classics associated wave of Marvel Legends with the Howling backpack. I had that for many years in the collection, but that one I think would look quite nice on a retro card because it's an older sort of classic character from the sort of 70s and 80s, so they would look nice on the retro card. And assuming we will get a retro card reveal soon, because I know we're ending the VHS stuff, but I still think Daniel did tweet we're still going to get more figures from the Spider-Man the animated show, so hopefully some retro cards.
Home Dude says, let's cut the crap, deluxe man spider. Now, I'm sure Jay will absolutely agree with that.
Home Dude, it could not be better. A deluxe man spider or a Build-A-Figure. I'll take a Build-A-Figure version. If we can have we have not had a Spider-Man Build-A-Figure wave in ages. And yes, again, I've completely forgotten something.
No, they've replaced we have a Spider-Man wave a year, guaranteed, like virtually guaranteed. Every year you get a Spider-Man themed wave, and it used to always be the Build-A-Figure at the start of the year, but they changed it to the retro cards or the new card backs, for example. So that's why we haven't really got any Spider-Man related Build-A-Figures, because all the Spider-Man themed waves have now been on card backs. So there are some Spider-Man teasers out there from San Diego Comic-Con, which we know we've got the arm and the feet from Spider-Man Unlimited and Spider-Boy. So they could be on the new style card backs rather than a Build-A-Figure. Again, I don't know, but that's probably based off recent history. I'm assuming that's the direction Hasbro are going now with Spider-Man characters. You don't design a brand new card back and then just release 3 characters on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to do more.
Yeah, I would like to see the return of a Spider-Man Build-A-Figure. They are things that suck me into the Wave. Is the Build-A-Figure like the Blackheart Build-A-Figure from the Wave? I only really want Dracula and Lilith from the Wave, but I'll end up having to buy the Wave because I do want the Blackheart Build-A-Figure. So it's always been a good marketing strategy for Marvel Legends, is that Build-A-Figure, and we just haven't seen many of them in 2024. So I'm going to assume 25 will be the same and we'll be on a lower number again. But I do miss my Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, again, they've just changed the way they release things. I agree. I think the Build-A-Figures are missed. It's definitely a staple of Marvel Legends. Now, they're not going anywhere. They're not gone. They're not like retired. Build-A-Figures are still a thing. Of course they are. We just get less of them now because they have other release format styles to release, I guess. And they get more deluxe figures out in the line now as well, which wasn't usually the case. Back in the day, it was just mainline figures and the Build-A-Figure was the way to get a deluxe. But now they seem to be chugging along with that sort of deluxe price point and releasing characters and re-releasing Build-A-Figures. So yeah, I think people would like to see a Spider-Man Build-A-Figure wave back, but I don't mind it disappearing as long as we still get those bigger characters in the line. Not that I want it to disappear. Yes. I'm just saying as long as we get those bigger characters, I don't mind them scaling back and switching up the formats because Man Spider would do great.
It'd be fantastic. It's an interesting poll, potentially, or a stream for the chat. Do you prefer a Build-A-Figure or a deluxe release? Because with the Build-A-Figure, effectively you're getting it for free, but you do have to buy the whole wave. Whereas otherwise, don't have to buy the whole wave, but you still got to drop 40 to 50 on the deluxe release. So it's an interesting one. I prefer the Bath to the deluxe release, but I can see it going the other way because you've got a lower investment initially by spending like 40 rather than like 150, but then you don't get the free figure. Or if you don't want the Bath, you can often sell that to recoup quite a bit. Talking about sort of eBaying earlier, you can recoup a bit from the Wave. It's just an interesting one. What's actually preferred, or is it just me?
I'm going to put a poll up in the chat now. It basically says if you had to pick one. Okay, this is just hypothetical, of course, but if you had to pick one, no Build-A-Figures or no deluxe. Do you know what I mean? So if one of them had to go away, which one would go away? For the record, I don't think any of them are going away. I think safely into 25 and 26, we're going to continue to see Build-A-Figures and deluxes, a mix of both. But I'm just curious, like Jay said, if you had to pick, would you rather there be no Build-A-Figures and we just got deluxe releases, or do you like the incentive of a Build-A-Figure? I do think the Build-A-Figure is a core concept of Marvel Legends. They have to keep it, and it definitely encourages people to buy. Like, how many people would have brought Red Widow? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying this on behalf of Rich because he's not around. Granted, new character, not really focused a lot in the comics. So if she didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece for Zabu, how many people would have still brought her? I think that's a fair question to say. So
definitely, she was talking Red Widow. She was in the Prime Day deals this week on Amazon UK.
Still
20% off. You could have got her for still at £20.89p. I still didn't pull the trigger on the old Red Widow.
Poor Red Widow. I don't mind Red Widow. I like learning about new characters via the hobby, but I know some people are really against it. Now, interestingly enough, Jay, in the chat right now, so I've just put up that poll, and more people are saying no Build-A-Figures.
I can see, yes, I've seen it.
88% so far are saying no Build-A-Figure. So people, I think it's for that very reason. People don't like people. You said yourself earlier, Blackheart, like you want to build Blackheart, but the only 2 figures in that wave you want are Lilith and Dracula. So surely it would be better for you if they released a deluxe Blackheart, would it not?
It would be cheaper in the, I don't know, it'd be an interesting mathematical equation because I'd be in for 2 at 25 plus a deluxe at 50, let's say. I'm in for 100 anyway. Well, if I bought the whole wave for 150, sold the 5 I don't want, I think I could probably sell them for more than 50.
Just say you can't resell. You can't resell, right?
If you can't resell, if you can't resell, definitely in for the deluxe because you would be in for the the cheaper one. It's just I don't know. It's the old collectors. It's 20 years of collecting mindset, I suppose.
That's what it is.
And ingrained with builder figures in me.
You're just nostalgic for builder. Well, not nostalgic, but you're sentimental is a good word, I think. You're sentimental for the builder figure concept, that you like it. But in reality, if you actually broke it down and did your budgeting, it probably makes more sense for you to get the characters you want as a deluxe rather than a builder figure. Like, if we're talking strictly technical and financial, I think it makes sense for the deluxe rather than build a figure. We're just sentimental for the concept.
Definitely. It's I don't know, working back in the toy department back in 2004 when Marvel Legends come out and seeing them on the shelf. I'm nostalgic for the £6.99 price point they were back then. My goodness me, that was the days. It's like two old men tonight, ladies and gentlemen, of the chat, reminiscing about. My God, we've been collecting far too long.
Woolworths. If you remember Woolworths, we know you're a certain age bracket as it is. I remember buying Legends from Big W. That was the big Woolworths. Do you know what I mean? The big Woolworths. I'd pay £100 for that black heart, says Dale. Dale, don't say that too loud. Hasbro are lurking. Don't say that too loud. But Blackheart is clearly a desired character. For sure, people are buying characters in that wave to build Blackheart. And Blackheart would have done great as a deluxe, but that's the reason you put him as a builder figure from a marketing standpoint. Whether you agree with it or not is up to you to debate, but that's what they're there for. It's meant to be an incentive, something to encourage you to spend more money, and then you're rewarded by completing a wave with an additional figure. Like, it's always been a fun incentive and something we are definitely sentimental for. But I think in reality, in this day and age when you've got to start picking and choosing and things are more expensive, probably makes more sense for just to buy the figures you want without having to get a Red Widow. Red. I keep using her as an example. I do apologise.
Poor Red Widow.
Do apologise.
Probably is though at today's sort of more modern price points that of course everything has gone up to. But because back in the day I wouldn't even think about it. Of just every wave you're just in that mindset, pre-order the wave. So they've made me think.
When I first got into Legends, I used to if I wasn't interested in the builder figure, I'd sell off the builder figure and make back most of the money for the wave anyway. Do you know, like, it would always feel like, and then it's always made me feel better. But that was back in the day. Collecting Legends was a different ball game 10 plus years ago for us in the UK, as everything was imported in anyway. So everyone has their own collecting experiences, but I do think confidently we are going to continue to get both builder figures and deluxes in 25 and 26. And without a doubt, I'm pretty confident of that. Especially next year, we always get a builder figure wave with the movie tie-ins, but we also got that Spider-Man movie tie-in that wasn't a builder figure wave, as they made retro cards, or I keep saying retro card, but they made card backs for the Spider-Man No Way Home figures, where that could have been a builder figure wave, but it wasn't. So they don't always, there are a few exceptions to the rule. But next year we've got Captain America, we have got the Thunderbolts, and we've got Fantastic Four. So if they traditionally do a builder figure wave to accompany each of them, we've virtually already got the same amount of builder figure waves we got this year, just in MCU releases. And remember, 2 of those movies got pushed from this year to next year. So it's probably more of a reason why we've got less builder figures this year than we usually would. But that makes sense. After saying all of that, I don't think they're revealing a builder figure wave at these things. I think it's other bits and bobs. Or it could be.
Just mix.
Well, it could be. Just think, if they're revealing for 2025, actually, it could be.
It could be bits of a builder figure wave, because we're somewhere under the mindset that because of Captain America Brave New World coming out early, we know it got delayed. I think we all know pretty much those figures must be ready to go. And I'm sure we could guess what a builder figure would be in that way from the trailers. But again, they don't usually announce that sort of thing at Comic-Con. At the moment, they're going through sort of media channels, aren't they? Like comicbook.com and things for MCU-related stuff. So maybe it's just going to be bits and pieces, a couple of 2-packs, Spider-Man retro card. Is it even be that much? They don't always do a lot in New York.
I should have done my research before we went live. I genuinely can't remember what they revealed in New York last year. Can anyone figure that out without me watching me Google it? What did they reveal at New York last year? Genuine question. Was it a lot? Was it a few things?
Was it anything at all? Because they saved it for 1027 and MCM. Because
it was a drag. They were pushing a Giant Man, weren't they? I think, were they not? Or
because Well, the year before they were pushing the Engine of Vengeance. That was there, and that was all they had. I'm sure it was just a cabinet with the car in, and that was all they had. So was it the same last year? And it was just a cabinet with Giant Man in.
Shout out Power of X-Men podcast. I'm assuming that's Dave Springs in the chat. Shout out Dave Springs. He says they revealed nothing last year. It was just Giant Man, which is, thinking about it, you're completely correct. But this year we know they're revealing things because there's a Hasbro brand panel that they have publicly said on the Friday, on the 18th, and we also, Greece have just scored against England, for God's sake, and we also know Brian Ting has confirmed there will be reveals as well, because he was alluding to something similar to Dragon Man. Now, whether that's me putting the story together and assuming that, again, up for debate, but I still think that's what he's alluding to. So we know there's going to be reveals this time. So so they've usually halved the wave. Like last year, they halved the Spider-Man wave. 3 reveals at MCM Comic-Con London and 3 reveals at 1027, or the other way around. But this year, there's 3 places for them to reveal stuff. So even if they are revealing a wave, would they do 2 figures per convention?
I think they would still stick with the same strategy as last year for that. So over the course of, in 2 weeks' time at MCM and 1027, we will get a full wave, but we'll just get it the other way round. We'll get the first half at MCM and the second half at 1027. So backwards to what last year was. So New York now is sounding more to me like I think this will be, as I say, a 2-pack, maybe a box set, a retro card, maybe a tease at future. I don't think there'll be a pre-order associated with New York then. Now I'm thinking it through. I think there'll be definitely a pre-order after 1027 if I think that's going to be a wave. Maybe it will just be a retro card, and then they'll give a tease to future Build-A-Figure waves in the future by naming just a random character, like we've had wasn't Kristar named before, or and Rom the Space Knight's been named, hasn't he, for a wave next year.
They've showed off Rom. We just don't know where he's going. So they showed off Kristar, and he ended up in a Build-A-Figure wave. So is Rom going to be in a Build-A-Figure, or is he single-packed? Like, again, we don't know that information. Question then, Jay. Out of the teasers, you mentioned some teasers. There are 3 teasers now which haven't been confirmed what they are, even though people can safely assume they know what they are. So we've got the Spider-Man Unlimited arm gauntlet. We've got the Spider-Boy sneaker, or trainer if you're in the UK, which we can safely, correctly assume that it's those 2 characters. Like, it obviously is those 2. But then we've got their little mask. Now, in the chat, Hobby says, if Dan doesn't get to reveal Chameleon, I'll be disappointed. That's true. Chameleon, they could make dreams come true and allow me to reveal Chameleon at MCM in London. That'd be amazing. But that little squashed sort of tease makes me think it doesn't look animated. Like, the Chameleon in the show used other forms of transformation. It wasn't, he never wore, there's no masks involved. It was his bout, and then there was a flash of light, and he'd change off camera. It was always sneaky. There was never ripping any masks off Scooby-Doo style. That's very much a comic book trait for Chameleon. So if that squashed little mask that they teased is in fact a Chameleon, it's got to be comic book Chameleon, which I'm happy to add to my collection, but I still selfishly want an animated style Chameleon, because his design for the animated show is very very singular to the animated show. It wasn't really in the comics, but that's just me. Again, I could be speaking for the small portion of the community. So Jay, do you reckon we will get reveals, full reveals, for any of those teasers at New York Comic Con? So those 3 teasers there, will any of them get fully revealed at New York?
I don't think so. I think that the Spider-Man stuff will be revealed, but I think that will be the wave that will be at what I'm imagining is MCM and 1027. I think it'll be the Spider-Man wave, because traditionally we do have a Spider-Man wave early in the year, and we're in mid-October. So I think that's going to be MCM.
Super chat from Chadwick.
Chadwick Myers donated $5. Wasn't there also like a wall of skulls posted on socials or something like that?
So he's alluding to a picture of schools. So thank you very much, Chadwick Myers, for the super chat. He says, wasn't there also like a wall of schools posted on socials or something like that? So he is alluding to Mr. Dwight Stall on Twitter, who posted a picture of some schools, and he posted that at about the same time that the Strange Tales wave was being revealed. So I think his picture of schools was in relation to a darker tone wave, which ended up being the Strange Tales, and of course Mephisto's son is Blackheart, who was the Builder figure. So I think those skulls that Dwight teased on his Instagram were alluding to that Strange Tales wave and the darker tones of that overall wave. Would you assume the same, Jay?
Yeah, because they were just leftovers, weren't they, from a previous SDCC that didn't happen because of COVID, because it wasn't going to be a big display with Age of Apocalypse. Was it, or was it Doctor Doom from the modern Secret Wars? Is it? So I think that was just a leftover, and then like a Halloweeny tease for that Stranger Tales wave. I would assume there. But yeah, with the Spidey, I think we will get that Spidey, but it depends, of course, if I'm wrong and they are going to reveal that Spider-Man wave partially between all three conventions, then yes, we will see some of that Spider-Man stuff, because we have to surely be seeing that soon. If we're thinking next year's first two waves are going to be Captain America and the Spider-Man wave, then we've got to get a bit of a wriggle on with getting those revealed. Not that bothered by Spider-Boy, but the Spider-Man Unlimited would be quite interesting. It was a very random animated show, as kind of like a sequel to the classic 90s show. I didn't watch it.
People say it's
at
not
the
canon.
time. I didn't watch
I've been confirmed it's not canon.
Yeah, I didn't watch it till I was older. The first episode is very weird. You've got this really weird sort of lanky Carnage and Venom in the episode. He shoots off into space and then ends up... it's the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Forget his name. Is the main villain of the show, making all these different sort of animal creatures.
High Evolutionary.
And thing. That's the one. Yeah, High Evolutionary is like the main villain of the show, and it's all a bit strange, but it's a very cool design. So I wouldn't mind getting that one in the collection. But then the third thing you mentioned,
never watched it.
You've still not watched it.
I seen some episodes of Spider-Man Unlimited as a kid, but I thought they were copying Batman Beyond, so I just didn't bother. I was like, don't need to see it. It wasn't my Spider-Man, so I was aware of it, but I don't have the same feels for that as I do as the animated show.
I said I didn't watch it till I was older. But then the third thing you mentioned is Chameleon. So surely that is a masked head for a chameleon,
no
isn't
one
it?
can
That
think
has
of
to be
something
what it
else.
is.
No, not anybody knows what else it could be apart from a squash chameleon head or a squash mask or something. Or what else could it be?
But that's gonna. I know you're absolutely chomping at the bit to get the animated chameleon, and I couldn't argue with that, because I would love an animated chameleon too. But as you say, that cannot be for that because of the belt. So that has to be teasing to me the smoking jacket chameleon.
That is what I want in the Marvel Legends form. Now, Dan Yoon, even though the VHS line has been retired, and they did publicly say that, the VHS line it's on hiatus. It may come back, it may not, we don't know. But we know for the foreseeable future, there are no more Spider-Man VHS packs. So, in my mind, I was quite content with that, because it's a complete collection. You've got 7 2-packs, 14 figures. There's a nice start and finish line for a little Spider-Man themed collection. I got money in the bank. Oh, we got another super chat from Eric Fox. Thank you very much, Eric.
Eric Fox donated $10. Let's get a Hepzibah for absent friends.
Yes, I'll say it for you. It says, let's get a Hepzibah for our absent friends. Yes, Eric, I completely agree. I would absolutely love a Hepzibah. I'd take a Hepzibah and Razor. I think it's Razor 2-pack to complete the Starjammers, considering they were focusing very much on the She-Hulk sort of story for the X-Men. The Starjammers are a big part of that. Like, you'll find plenty of comic book panel with that Charles Xavier we've recently got on the retro card and the orange card back, teaming up with the Starjammers. So to recreate that on the shelf, you will need to get Razor and Hepzibah. So yes, please. I completely agree, and I'm absolutely say with 100% confidence that Jay and Rich would agree. We want Hepzibah, right, Jay?
I would not argue in the slightest that we need a Hepzibah. If I were, Rich would throw me off the stream, and the super substitute would never be here again.
So yes, subcontract. Yes, he has to also
Hepzibah. Yeah, it's in the. It's in. I got the pen. It's in the. It's in the contract.
You have to endorse the same picks as Rich.
So I have to endorse Hepzibah and animated series Chameleon.
Yes. So this is from 1995. I want it in Marvel Legends form, selfishly. So as I was saying, the VHS cards are on ice, but Dan Yoon did confirm we will still get Spider-Man animated figures. Now, I'm assuming he's alluding to the retro cards, okay, which I am very happy with. We get a mix of like characters that were in the animated show and characters that could have been on the animated show, but they're not quite there. The modern characters now, like the Chasms and the Hallows Eve, they're going to go on the modern design card backs. But any characters that were from that sort of era are fair game for the retro card. So I've come to feel fine about that. Because at first, when I started seeing characters that were never in the animated show, I was like, that's not right. But I understand it's a tribute to what could have been if the line continued, or if these characters did pop up in the show. So I'm content. But this character absolutely did turn up in the show. He was on the cut. He was in the toy line, and how have we not got him yet? He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest gap. Look at the back of this box, Jay. We have everybody out. Everybody. Every single other thing on the back of that box we have.
I wouldn't mind a playset.
Apart from the playset, okay. Apart from the playset, we haven't got the Spider-Man Daily Bugle playset. But let me just read these. Black Suit Spider-Man. Have we got? So let's just do a quick check, right? Have we got them on the Spider-Man VHS or retro? Black Suit Spider-Man. Yes.
Yes.
Mysterio. Yes. Spider-Man. Yes. The Prowler. Yes. Venom. Yes. Another Spider-Man. Yeah, we got many Spider-Mans. Shocker. Yes. The the Spider Armor. Yes. Scorpion. Yes. Rhino. Yes, on the deluxe card. Green Goblin. On retro and VHS, we got a Green Goblin. We've got two. So we've got two Green Goblins before we even got Chameleon. He is the biggest gap. He has to be on their radar. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure it's a 2025 figure, but please reveal it this year so I can celebrate the new year in style. Otherwise, I'm going to be a very depressed man as the clock ticks over, still unaware if we're going to be adding this style Chameleon to my collection in the forthcoming future. But I can't be the only one.
I would love it. I'd absolutely love that character as a massive fan of that show. But when Dan said they're continuing, it's fine. But when I saw that unmasked head, I panicked, and I panicked for you as well, because I can't see them releasing. If that is Chameleon, it has to be the smoking jacket one, and I can't see them doing two in 1 year.
Mikey Moonboots, do you hear these, Jay?
Mikey Moonboots donated £9.99. Justice for Baths. Marvel Legends always been Bath waves. It will be criminal to phase him out. Fire, fire, Mephisto, fire, fire.
Mikey Moonboots have requested it, Jay. Then I shall do it. Fire! The fire is on. Justice for Baths. Marvel Legends always have Bath waves. It will be a criminal to phase them out. Fire for Mephisto. So there is now fire on the screen. Do you feel warmer now, Jay? I feel warm?
I get toasty. I could take the top off, but we don't want to get demonetized.
Exactly. Keep it on. But shout out Mikey Moonboots. I appreciate the super chat. So he says Justice for Baths. Mikey, I genuinely don't think they're phasing out Baths. I don't think they're intentionally doing less Baths or anything like that. I just think this year, unfortunately, we've just got less than we usually would for a multiple of reasons. I think Baths will continue to be a part of the Marvel Legends line for the future, absolutely. And I hope we get a Mephisto too, I agree. Our friend Brandon is also in the chat. You may remember his name as Hero Collections. Member for 41 months. Well done, Brandon. Well done for supporting your friend. That's me, for 41 months. I appreciate you. He says, I voted X-Men animated X-Men Evolution or Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes figures next. That actually concerns me.
So that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? It's a man that could be in the know.
He definitely has a bit of influence these days, doesn't he? Let's be honest. I think he's referring to the VHSs, though. But I think those shows were like in the DVD era. The Spider-Man animated show was 90s, so absolutely VHS territory. By X-Men Evolution and Avengers of Mighty Heroes, you're in DVDs.
I feel a confession coming on. Here. Now, Brandon. Now, when I'm here virtually and not in person, I'm going to have to admit something to you. I have never seen X-Men Evolution. Not a single frame of the show.
Oh, my God. He's not going to be happy. I'm glad you told him that virtually. Otherwise, he would have fell out with you for sure.
I've seen Avengers of Mighty Heroes, but not X-Men Evolution. Wolverine is orange, I believe, from seeing some pictures, but I don't know anything else about it. I was too old.
Yeah, I remember X-Men Evolution. They started and like the main character was like Spike, and it was like different alternative versions. Like it was definitely again for me, it was X-Men the animated series and Spider-Man the animated series. So when those ended and they tried to like rebrand like X-Men Evolution and Spider-Man Unlimited, I was like at the age where I was like, I wasn't ready to commit to anything new or different. I was like, no, this isn't what I like. It isn't what I'm used to. I'm stepping away. And I moved on to other things. So I definitely didn't watch X-Men Evolution as much as I could have. And Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that was like the 2000s as well. I was definitely not like watching that either. Like it weren't my generation. I genuinely think that's an early 2000s. What year is that, Brandon? Does anyone know?
It's 2010, I think, something like that for Avengers.
Yeah, so that
because it was on Disney XD or something when it was on, and so because it was the same time as like the Ultimate Spider-Man, which I watched. So those modern Disney shows, because I was then in my 30s, I was back into watching cartoons. I watched those. But X-Men Evolution, I think, was probably around the year 2000 or something, wasn't it? So yeah. I just kind of missed that one, and it wasn't my childhood thing. Like those 90s animated series of Batman, Spider-Man, and X-Men, I've watched 10 times backwards. But
I had a phase of in my teenage years pretending I'm not a loser. I pretended that I wasn't a massive geek, and I tried to not watch and collect and tried to focus on females and football and alcohol, but then you soon snap out of it and go, who am I kidding? I'm a massive loser. And then you go back to cartoons and toys. So I do eventually come back around, but yeah, I just mix. I'm aware of X-Men Evolution. I'm aware of the Avengers Earth Mightiest, but you can't do VHS style boxes because they're not VHSs, and you're not going to be able to fit a Marvel Legend in a slim DVD box. So you're gonna have to figure out a different way. So yeah, maybe one day. Rave Wolverine. So Craig just wanted to publicly say that he's got his Rave Wolverine. Brandon also says, Dan, where did you get this guy from? He's not happy. He's
got me from the 90s, I'm afraid.
Well, let's stay with the X-Men then for a second. Because on the thumbnail for for New York Comic Con, I also put X-Men 97 characters that we have not gotten. Now, they started off the year hot with basically 2 waves in quick succession. The first X-Men 97 wave was technically a 2023 wave because the show was meant to come out about this time in 2023. So the figures came out, but the show got delayed until this year. So wave 2 came out at around about the same time of the show, which still gave us plenty of year left to think, oh, we're going to get a wave 3. But again, the timings was all messed up. So Dan Yoon publicly came out and says, we will not have an X-Men Wave 3 this year, but hopefully some more figures in the future. So Dan also has confirmed since then on other streams and in whatever, that if we are going to see any of them, it wouldn't be until the end of the year. Now, we are approaching those last couple of events towards the end of the year, because after New York Comic Con, after MCM, maybe Luca Toys and Film, Comic-Con, whatever, there isn't really anywhere else apart from like regular streams. Do you know, Hasbro always end with their Hasbro stream in December. So there's only a few more places left where they could potentially tease more X-Men 97 figures. So it could be one of these places. So my question, Jay, could we see any more X-Men 97 figures revealed at New York Comic Con for a 2025 release?
It wasn't one I'd thought of until I'd seen your thumbnail, and I was wondering why that was in the thumbnail. I was like, that's quite a bold choice. But now you've spoke it through. I've actually, if it's for a tease, definitely not for a pre-order.
Yeah.
But if it's a tease for one in a wave, then yes, I don't see actually why we couldn't see maybe only one, because this could be what New York is now. I'm thinking it's going to be teases of future waves, and say cut the 2-packs and maybe a box set rather than a full wave. So I don't see why you couldn't tease one if there is a wave planned for next year, which I assume there is. I wasn't sure. Is the show delayed until
So
2026?
Hobby in the chat is saying that exactly that. He said that heard that season 2 has been pushed back to 2026. Now I don't know if I don't know if Disney have come out and publicly said that, but there are rumblings online that the show is going to get delayed because obviously the showrunner's changed and stuff happening behind the scenes. So if that is the case, obviously that's disappointing as just a fan of the show, but it also gives Hasbro a whole extra year to catch up with some of those characters they may have missed from the first season, because they may not have a lot of assets from the second season yet. We know what direction season 2's going due to the teasers on that last episode, but there are still absolutely gaps from the first episode. Like, let's be honest, all the characters changed to different costumes. You could re-release the same characters just in their different costumes, but there are key characters, like in my thumbnail I put Beast, Jubilee, Sunfire and Morph. I think they're the 4 main X-Men characters that they didn't do in these 2 waves. So they have to come out. So I don't think them revealing them would be like massively exciting or shocking. Like if they revealed an X-Men 97 Beast, I don't think anyone would be like, oh my God, shocked that you're doing that. But people would be happy. Like, people wouldn't be mad. Like, people would be like, absolutely, you should be doing that. That makes sense. We need a new Beast that's pinless. X-Men 97 Beast, we have the animated style face and sculpting as well. I think people would welcome it. So even though it's, like, not a shocking reveal, because we're expecting to see these things, it would still be a nice reveal that would please a lot of people. Like, who would be mad at them revealing an X-Men 97 Beast and Jubilee and Sunspot? Like, who would be mad at that? Nobody. Like, people would welcome these, especially with a new X-Men 97 card back as well. So I reckon we will see them soon. I don't know if they'll be revealed here, but it's just another option. We're just discussing options.
There's a re-release, wasn't there, listed of Wolverine recently on the card?
Yes, and Rogue.
And coming Rogue. So they're re-releasing those. Keep it in the public eye potentially. Because Beast. We've never had a Beast with that. It's such a distinctive animated head, even from the 1992 series. So I'd love to see a Beast. I want a white suit Gambit. It's what I'd actually like from the show. Is a bit of an out there one for a third wave. Just chuck that in there. But
for sure.
What a great episode that was. So I could see one. I don't see that's a potential theory with those re-releases as well.
Yeah, again, they could do all the characters in their alternative costumes. They all swap costumes during the show. There's new characters we haven't got. I'm sure everyone's going to want a Bastion. And again, Bastion, as discussed, could be the second chance. Me and Rich said that Dan Yoon has been teasing a second chance will be at New York Comic Con. Bastion has only previously been released as an unlockable tier with the Sentinel HasLab from 2019. So Bastion just could be a single release. They could do a comic Bastion that just looks exactly like X-Men 97 Bastion. I don't know. Like, I don't think they will. I think the next Bastion we get in the Marvel Legends line will be an X-Men 97 Bastion. But
could be a super deluxe one from the end there.
Yeah, from the end.
With the second chance, I don't think I've said this on the main show. My theory of the second chance is it's going to be Angel. It's going to be Angel in a blue suit. Is what they're gonna do. I think we might have potentially overhyped what it could be, but your Mephisto, which we're not mentioning, theory is has definitely suckered me in. So I'm now expecting to see one, and there could be some hate tweets coming your way if we do not see one.
Look,
but
can I just publicly say, right? If my conclusion for Mephisto, based off the evidence I've provided, is it makes sense. Like, if Mephisto doesn't happen, people can't say, "Oh, you didn't make sense." I think I've presented my argument for Mephisto very clearly, and the breadcrumbs. It would be no one can challenge. It's not a perfect time to release Mephisto. So if I had to have a debate now with someone who doesn't think it's a perfect time for Mephisto, I don't think they'd beat me. I reckon I have enough evidence, enough on the table to be like, no, it's a good time for Mephisto. So, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying it's a good time. That's all.
So, it's a logical theory presented. A full hypothesis you've presented there. So it's a scientific experiment at this time of year. So we will see.
Do I also selfishly want him? Yes, of course I do. But like you said, a logical theory. I like that term.
It's weird with Mephisto because he's one character that I don't actually see anybody say they don't want. Which now usually there's always something out there.
There is always someone's going to pop up in the chat now. There's always one. There's always one.
It's probably just him. We'll wait for somebody to say they don't want one, but I think he's such an A-list character, such a wanted character within the line that absolutely, as you like to say, nobody's going to be mad at a Mephisto. Everybody must. Well, anybody out there doesn't want a Mephisto. The algorithm loves a good comment, so off you go. Because surely we all want Mephisto.
This year, they are trying to be non-controversial, I think. I think Legends this year wanted to just be like, look, let's just give them the hits, right? Let's just give them what we think they want. Like the summer program was probably one of the best summer programs. Yes, it's characters we already technically have representation of in our collection, but they have undoubtedly upgraded all of those characters. None of those characters that released via the 85th anniversary line had a predecessor that was better. Every character that got released was better than the previous release. Again, speaking for myself, I'm not Alexi. So I think this year has been full of hits. I think they've done really good this year. And then like no HasLab this year as well to avoid that controversy. And instead they're doing like a pre-order with Dragon Man, which I think looks great. Like genuinely do think Dragon Man looks great. So I think this year they're just going for the hits. They're just trying to get everybody back on board and remind people that Legends are great, because the Legends community is very fickle. They love to moan about, again, it's human nature, isn't it? Like you can do 100 things right, but you do one thing wrong, and that's what people remember. So Legends consistently do great things, but people just seem to remember and harp on about the few nitpicks they get wrong. But in the grand scheme of thing, again, not talking about like pricing and stuff like that, that's a Hasbro issue, but let's just talk about the representation of the Marvel universe we have in plastic for our collection. I don't think anyone can dispute that the Legends line isn't epic. Do you know what I mean? Look at behind me, for God's sake. It's crazy. It's a comic book brought into the 3D into plastic on my shelves. It's crazy. And the MCU. So I think Legends are on an uptick this year. So I think they're trying to avoid controversy. So I don't think they're going to be revealing anything that's going to piss anyone off. Like, don't get me wrong. There's always a few. There's always a few out there that are just going to piss over everyone's cereal because they just like to see the world burn. Do you know what I mean? I get it. I get there's people out there that just love to stir the pot and just sit back from the comfort of their mum's basement. I get it. But in the grand scheme of things, this year Legends are heading in a good direction. So I don't think they're going to release anything controversial. And I think, like you said, a Mephisto, people want a Mephisto. So if you do it right at a decent price point, I think people would be universally happy. But even if it's not Mephisto, I still think they're going to reveal something really good. I do. I do think we're going to see a good reveal at New York this year. Ryan's got his ear on the ground. Like, he knows the community. He watches the live stream. He gets involved in the community. Like, Ryan has a good sense of what people want. So I don't think Ryan Ting himself would be hyping anything up or trying to tease if he didn't think there was something good to show. If he knew there was some shitty like re-release that Hasbro are making him do because it sold well at New York, I don't think he'd be hyping it up for a year. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I like to
Ray
think
Ortiz donated $4.99. I'm going to be attending NYCC this year. I'm super excited to get to see the reveals in person.
Thank you very much, Ray. I appreciate the super chat. And I'm also very jealous that you will be attending New York Comic Con this year. So he's going to be able to see the reveals that we are discussing. We are going to, like, again, I'm very, very jealous. As I said, I think they're going to reveal something good. Is it Mephisto? I hope so. If I had to place a bet right now, do I think it's going to be Mephisto? I don't feel confident. Hasbro sometimes make me think one thing. Like, they sort of plant the seed to make you think, oh, it's going to be this. It's so obviously going to be this. And then it's not. Like, that has happened too many times for me to ignore. So, what a percentage level? I'd say, I don't know, 65, 35. I'm 65% confident on Mephisto, but there's still 35% as a big chunk where I'm not confident. That's where I am. What about you?
That's where you are. With Mephisto, where am I with Mephisto? Before you mentioned it, I was about 10, 20%. Now you've presented this case. I say your hypothesis is good. It seems to be based on solid facts. So I was going to be higher. I'm going to go 70%, just slightly higher than you. I think you've got me convinced now. Yeah,
I've convinced more people than myself. Yeah.
You've become what you've always said. You've become an influencer.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm just a guy that loves collecting and loves the community. That's honestly, but yeah, I want a Mephisto. Collector Rush joins the chat, says hello Rush. I hope you are being safe in Florida. Shout out all all the people that are watching from Florida. Stay safe, people. Hope everyone recovered and no one got any of their action figures or family wet. Wait, no, shouldn't have said that. Let's move on. Shout out Florida is what I meant.
Moving swiftly on,
I had
yes.
good intentions
I hope everybody is okay.
People. I had good intentions, for God's sake. All right, let me ask the chat then before I promise I'll shut up. Sorry, Super Soul. I'm sorry. But before we move on from Mephisto, just give me a percentage. What percentage level do you think for Mephisto? Like, how percent? Like, so far, just in collectors is about 69%. I'm sure he's picked that number on purpose, but it's fine. It's 1% less than you, Jay. Damien says he's 55%. So, Damien, you're basically sat on the fence, mate. Get off the fence, all right? Get off the fence. Compulsive Collector says 666. Now, I see what he did there. That's the devil's number. Be careful of that one. Be careful. Christopher Allen says 88%. 88's a great year.
He's up there.
Super Turk says 0%. Put this idea in the bin. He's not a fan. He's not a fan.
No, he's just the one who owns the Marvel Select. He's lying to you because he would. I absolutely put 100% actually on confidence that if Mephisto is released, Tanner will replace the Select with the Legends and just keep the throne if we don't get one.
I always say this, like Legends has a very, like the modern Marvel Legend has an aesthetic for sure, and it's harder to fit things in without them looking out of place. Granted, there are a few exceptions to that rule, like there always are, but Legends have like a pretty rounded aesthetic. That's why I don't get too mad when people are complaining about the anatomy of certain figures. I'm like, it's an action figure representing a superhero from a comic book. Do you know what I mean? It's not meant to be 100% anatomically correct, for God's sake.
I don't get hung up on anatomy or articulation. I've suddenly started collecting posed Marvel figures. To say the future of Marvel figures, posed figures.
I heard on your video, yes. Right, I'm going to end this poll because I do want to finish. I just want to ask the audience one more time. So I'm ending this poll. So Jay was curious how the community felt about Builder-Figures or Deluxes. And if you had to pick one, which would you get rid of for Marvel Legends? 71% say they'd rather get rid of Builder-Figures and Deluxes, Jay. Which, that must surprise you. You've been learning something.
That does surprise me. So 7 out of 10 do not agree with me. So I'll take my leave of absence on that one. Then
I just think it's logic. I think
it's nostalgia for Builder-Figures. I think you're right.
Sentimental value for Builder-Figures. Yeah. Like people are sentimental about the Builder-Figure concept, but in reality, logically, probably makes sense for them just to get the characters they want as Deluxes without having to track down Builder-Figures. Like, logically. But I agree. Builder-Figures should stay forever. Right, I'm going to end with one last question. What do you think that question's going to be? Is Mephisto happening? Of course it is. This is my last opportunity before New York Comic Con. I'm asking the question. Right, anyone in the chat, as I'm putting this question in the poll, anyone got any guesses for New York Comic Con? This is our last go. This is going to be my last stream before New York Comic Con, because the next stream will be after the reveals. I'm going to be streaming next Friday after the reveals. So I'm curious. What do you? Do we
know a time of the Marvel panel? Because I haven't seen a time.
I don't think there is a time yet, but I'm going to assume it's going to be late in the UK. Like Amanda's not in, so I'm ready to go live at any point that evening, essentially. So I'm not really too concerned about what the time is. I'm hoping it's not late. I'm hoping at about.
Well, it's in New York, so it's only 5 hours behind us, so it's not too bad. It's not like when we try and watch wrestling because it doesn't start till 8 o'clock. It doesn't start till nearly gone midnight, so we should be all right. If they did a mid-afternoon, they did it 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still only 7 for us, so it shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Rather than when it's at San Diego, that's usually the UK issue because we've got an 8-hour time difference to San Diego, and sometimes we get reveals at 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. So yeah, New York's not too bad at all. Right, let me put this poll up real quick. Reveals. I'm hoping we are still live in all these multiple places. Shout out Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. If anyone's there, come and join us on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. We are going to go to the after show very shortly, though. Revealed in October. Right. Quite simply, yes or no. Is Marvel Legends Mephisto going to be revealed in October? Let's go. Let's find out what the people think once and for all. This is our last opportunity to find this out. And then I promise you, after New York Comic Con, I'll shut up. If it's not Mephisto, I will shut up. Again, I want it. I selfishly want it, so I'm willing it into existence. And Greece have just scored twice against England. England are losing against Greece at Wembley. This is shocking.
It's only a friendly, isn't it? Well,
no, it's Nations League.
Nations
Greece
League.
are actually top.
That's friendlies, isn't they? Just replace the word friendly with Nations League to make you give you this fake competition to think that
it's essentially that. They've eventually made up a competition so people think friendlies are more important. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But still, it's pretty shit. England put out a good team as well, so that's disappointing. Lee Carsley is going to be disappointed. Anyway, back to Mephisto. Right, let's see what the people think, Jay. I'm asking the question. If you are watching live, we have 166. That's convenient, isn't it? That's another sign, Jay. Another sign.
It's another sign.
the stars are aligning.
And the poll seems to be going mathematically the same way as the other poll in terms of numbers as well. So something's going on tonight.
So for one last time before New York Comic Con, this is our last opportunity. Is Marvel Legends Mephisto going to be revealed in October? Maybe not at New York, but maybe at MCM or 1027. To be fair, if it's going to be released anywhere, it's going to be revealed anywhere. It's going to be going to be New York. So it won't be anywhere else. It will be New York. New York's the big one. Brandon says New York Comic Con is the place to be this year. Thanks for that. Thanks for that useful information. Do you want to tell us anything useful? You're welcome to.
Better get my passport. There was a.
Brandon,
just drop stay silent, Brandon, if Mephisto's coming.
Yeah, don't drop flame emojis.
Let's see how he gets around that one.
Yeah, don't drop flame emojis if Mephisto's coming. Yes, please. So far, 60 votes in so far, in quick succession. There's 162 people watching just on YouTube alone. I'm sure there is also millions of people watching on TikTok. Have no doubts about it. Get involved with the poll on YouTube right now. Is Marvel Legends Mephisto going to be revealed in October? Yes or no? Very, very simple. And if it isn't, what is going to be revealed? Let me know in the chat and we'll read a couple out before the year's out, before the stream's out. We've got a few minutes left here. RP is only 11% sure it's happening. Jamie says, did you ever hear from Fake Dan? I don't think I did. Won't watch Legend of the Liquor if you want to know what that's about. Collecting Rush says, Hasbro panel is Friday at 5:15 p.m. So that's going to be 10:15 p.m. for us, right?
10:15. So, that'll be 10:15 for us. So that's 11 p.m. You'll have to go live.
Yes, so that's 11:15 they'd be finished by. And then I need to wait half an hour for people to take pictures of the booth.
Richard.
I'm going to be streaming it like Saturday morning at this point. But I will do it for the people. Especially if it's Mephisto. Of course I'm going
It's going to be a midnight stream at this rate.
I'm going to be a full X-Manny mode and be like, I told you so. I called it. Jerry with a super chat. Thank you very much, Jerry.
Jerry donated $4.99. Hoping for a deluxe Mephisto on a throne. Also hoping for my Chicago Bears to win in London on Sunday.
Hoping for a deluxe Mephisto on a throne. Also hoping for my Chicago Bears to win on Sunday in London. Chicago Bears sound cute. I have no idea what they are. I'm assuming baseball?
No, they're American football, sir.
Chicago Bears,
I believe so.
I don't know.
Bears are football, aren't they?
I know.
They're football.
There's Cubs. There's Cubs in baseball.
No, they're football. They used to. I only know because of wrestling. There used to be Chicago Bears wrestlers in WCW.
Okay. So, it's NFL. It's NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably why we don't know. I have no idea. I watch real football. I just like winding up the Americans. England are still losing 1-0. Their goal got disallowed for whatever reason. There is still hope to beat Greece. I'll be up Friday. I can stream with you, says Cloud. Thank you very much, Cloud. I will figure out what I am doing. We will. I need to speak to Rich to see if he's available. But I will absolutely do some sort of extra show. Has someone scored? We scored. Bellingham scored. Thank God for that.
Bellingham has scored. It's 2 a.m. after show.
Bellingham has scored. Well, don't want ITV to demonetise you. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. It's 1-1. We haven't lost against Greece, thankfully. Even though we should be beating Greece. But thank you, Jude Bellingham. Hey, Jude. Thank you for scoring. What, redoing the EOV? It's not the EOV. Pretty confident it is not the EOV.
I thought it was.
702 Chavo says, hey, sorry I missed a live, but do you think they are announcing the Werewolf by Night MCU Legend? We spoke about that at the start of the show. I think there is definitely a strong possibility. I would like them to do that. It's the Halloween season. We've also got Man-Thing. There are a lot of reasons why it would be a good reason for it to be revealed. It just depends on Hasbro. We shall see. Collecting Rush says, check your DM. Rush, what have I told you about sending me naked pictures while I'm live online, all right? It's very distracting. For God's sake, Rush.
Wow. I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say in that one.
No, thankfully it's not a naked photo this time on this occasion. This one occasion.
Is it the schedule?
Yes,
for
yes.
It is.
Hasbro Toy Panel Action Brands. There it is. Friday the 18th of October.
Oh, it is an hour.
It's an hour long. Yes, it's all the brands. We're getting reveals.
Oh, it's all of them. Right.
Yeah. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers,
Ghostbusters has
Marvel.
Is that in this?
Yes, Ghostbusters. It's got to be the Ecto one. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. You've got to be in for the Ghostbusters too, right?
I don't know if I can buy another Ecto one. I got a little tiny one that'll do.
Oh mate, I'm ready.
Those real Ghostbusters will get me. We have the same Stay Puft.
I'm ready.
If they'd made a giant Stay Puft, I'd be in. There was. Oh
mate, I'm ready for this Ecto one. I swear. I'm
ready. I don't think you can. I have to get my camera down. I don't think I can get it low enough to. They're in the back of there. There is a Marshmallow Man and the same thing.
Oh, I can see him
in the back of that cube.
Against the purple lights.
There he is.
Yeah, Hasbro hosts an action-packed toy panel with brand marketing team members revealing exciting new products, giving fans a first look across the iconic action brands. The panel will celebrate the 40th anniversary of Transformers with new Studio Series figures and announce new team members joining the G.I. Joe Classified Series line. And you won't want to miss the launch of the latest HasLab project for Ghostbusters. In addition to the panel, will bring updates on the Hasbro lines inspired by Star Wars, including the Black Series and Vinton Collection, and Marvel, including exciting news about the Marvel Legends product line. So yes, we are getting all reveals from across all the brands. Absolutely happening. So I'm curious. I'm excited for Marvel, of course. I'm excited for Joe's. I'm excited for Ghostbusters.
What's made me laugh here is the fact we started off this stream by going through the current list of pre-orders that are due to charge us within the next month.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to back a HasLab in next week, sir.
You get a month, don't you? You get about a month.
You'll get 45 days, but that is a late, an early December Dan problem.
Yeah, that's next month Dan problem. October Dan, he has to worry about pre-orders. November Dan, he's got a HasLab to worry about. We shall see. Let's see if it's good. I hope it's good. It has to be a 1/12 scale Ecto 1 for me to be interested. I don't want to prop. It has to be the 1/12 scale. It has to fit in with Plasma Series properly. They've released like 8 other Ecto 1s in random scales. The only scale they haven't done is 1/12. Mike Heck says the announcements will be they've cancelled the Marvel Legends line. Now, why would he say that? Why would he do that to me?
I told you Tom was taking over. See those post figures for the future.
Look, Hasbro have got Legends for the foreseeable future. We are fine. We are good. Right, let me go back to the poll before we get out of here, and then we're going to go to the after show. Right, so the poll quite simply asked a question. The question that I have been asking all month long. You want to see the content I've got out of it? It's been great. You probably hate me. I've probably lost subscribers, but I don't care. The ones that stick with me are the real ones. It says, is Marvel Legends Mephisto going to be revealed in October? 71%, Jay, say yes.
They do. That would be the 71% that rejected my Builder figures have now said they want a Mephisto.
So what we have learned today is that Marvel Legends fans want a Mephisto and they don't want Builder figures. So if they reveal a Builder figure Mephisto, they're going to be slightly pissed. They're going to be happy and sad at the same time. Conflicting.
That did make me chuckle.
I think I missed the chat earlier from Arvin. Shout out Arvin, by the way. I think I missed this chat. I do apologise. He says, X-Men Evolution is my childhood. Would love a wave. Look, they'll get there eventually. They will get there eventually. It's not my
if they want me to watch the show, they'll do a wave, because you know I am a sucker for a cartoon if there's a toy wave associated with it. So do a wave of them and you'll get me to watch the show.
Indeed. Right, I've ended the poll. It's officially gone down in the record books. Our last show before New York Comic Con, 70% of our audience think Mephisto is happening. So if Mephisto doesn't happen, then 70% of you are going to be wrong, including me. Still going to put that positive energy in the air and go, no, Mephisto makes sense. It needs to happen. There's a gap in my collection. I want it to happen. I feel the heat. I like this fiery gimmick. If Mephisto doesn't get revealed, you're going to see this on many more streams. So let's hope it happens. Right, we're going to go over to the after show. But yeah, so I will be streaming next Friday after the reveals. So I'll probably be streaming at like maybe 11 o'clock on Friday.
We'll still be revealing till 11:15.
Yeah,
so if you want you're going to go at 11:30 as a...
Yeah, maybe
if you
midnight.
want to wait until finish.
A Saturday morning live stream. Amanda's not here, so even if even if some of the Americans want to jump on with me and Rich can't make it and you can't make it, I'll be here all the same talking about Marvel Legends, especially if it is what I think it is. And it seems like Greece have went and scored and won the game in extra time, and that is your final update from me today about the football. Greece did end up winning. Right, Jay. For one last time, let's plug the YouTube, shall we? Floor is yours.
So you can follow me. It's on my chest. There we are. Jay's Toy Collection UK is pinned in the chat. We were just 30 subscribers away from hitting 2,000 in my second year on YouTube. So any subscription would be appreciated. We will give you a second.
Right,
I will see.
We've got over 140 people watching live on YouTube alone, right? And I'm sure millions more on TikTok. Go and subscribe to Jay, right? You see him on the show regularly. He's got an epic YouTube channel. Follow him on his collecting journey. Give him a subscribe. He was 30 away from 2,000. Let's get into that 2,000 mark.
We've gone up 9 since the start of the stream, so we're 21 away. So we've got a third of the way there.
20. I'm assuming just a lot of people here are already following you. That's what I'm hoping. But if you are not, go and give Jay a subscribe. Jay's Toy Collection UK. If you see the pink, you know you are in the right place, all right? So go check it out. He posted a video today going through some toy news, but there is lots of content, including live streams, all right? So get involved, go and support and subscribe to Jay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to end the stream now. And go over to the after show. So one last plug for the after show. If you are a Who Crew Deluxe member, you can come on the show right now. Just send me a fresh DM and you can come on the after show and give me your predictions for New York Comic Con. Our last opportunity to talk about it in a public forum before the reveals happen. This is in the record books. So get involved. Start hitting me up with those fresh DMs. If you just want to watch the show and you don't want to be a guest, just become a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier and you get an extra show right now. We're going to go there right now. That one probably won't be on Instagram Live, though. Let me just check that we're still live on Instagram before we get out of here.
We were when I checked a few minutes ago. We were still rocking the Instagram. Dual platforms here going next level in Streamlabs.
Spreading awareness. That's all it is. Learning new tools.
We've literally talked for an hour and a half about toys with absolutely no topic. I didn't even realise the time had flown by.
That's why you're the perfect person. I was like, who can I fill a show with no topic and just talk toys and make it a good time? I was like, Jay's Toy Collection UK. That is who. We could do this all day long. Do you want to go for another hour and a half?
Wow, I'd like to eat at some point. Otherwise, I could keep going though.
Jay's got to go and eat.
If it wasn't a school night, as they say, with work in the morning. So Friday nights, I can usually we can go through the night talking toys, just react to all things New York Comic Con, and then it'll be MCM. There's a lot of toys coming in October. Well, I think it's a takeaway from.
If you're staying up next Friday, then you know where I'll be, Jay. You're welcome to get involved.
I will be definitely up because I want to do a quick reaction video as well myself. So I'll be there.
Film your reaction while you're live on my stream.
Why not? I'll just I'll dual cast it.
Just clip it. Extra show is Mayhem. Join us as Cloud. Yes, if you join the extra show, I will show you the pictures that Rush sent me in my DMs. All right, there's an incentive for you. So we're going to go to the after show now. Jay, let them know where they can find you online.
You can find me online here on YouTube at Jay's Toy Collection UK, on Instagram at Jay's Toy Collection UK for all things Marvel Legends, Hot Toys, Mondo, Lego. If it's statues now, if it's any form of action figure relating to wrestling, Marvel, DC, or Star Wars, I've probably at some point in my life tried to buy it. So come and join this random collecting journey, and that is why I can talk about toys with no topic. for an hour and a half, it's been a lot of experience, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. Go and check out Jay's collection, people. You will be very impressed for sure. Right, and for one last time, let me just plug New York Comic Con next weekend, people. All right, there is a Hasbro Pulse panel on the Friday the 18th. So we're going to get lots of reveals then. And then the week after that, I will be with Jay in MCM London Comic Con for more reveals. Reveals are coming. Thick and fast. Thick and fast. Will one of them be Mephisto? Nobody knows. We will find out. But go and check out one of the extra videos. I think I've done a review. If I have, I'll put it there. Dan Who does occasionally review things. And I'll put the video right there. Go and check it out. And I'll put another video there. Watch one of them. Come back next week and see my recap of the reveals. Let's pray to the Dark Lords of the world. Mephisto's happening.